Hello everyone, and welcome to the joinDOTA League Season 2. We are here with Scythe versus Zero Latitude, and it is brought to you by Heflatv. My name is Roxas, and with me is Coucher. How you doing today, buddy?
Yeah, quite fine. Pumped up for this game, to be honest. Haven't been able to cast the Southeast Asian scene for quite some time, so hoping for some great things, especially now that 6.81 is here. Because Southeast Asians, they've been drafting differently of the Westerners all the time anyway. So yeah, hoping for something nice.
Yeah, it's good. I haven't been following the Southeast Asian scene too much, but it is always a treat. People always seem to be not super scared, at least when it gets past the first part of the picking and banning phase. And 6.81 doesn't really seem to have much of an effect on the bans and picks so far, as we have AA and Lycan banned out, and then the Invoker picked up right away from Sahara Zero Latitude. And then from Scythe, we'll be seeing the Ember Spirit and Nyx Assassin banned out. So with the Nyx banned out, they could pick up a Bat Rider here. That's available. And they're going to go ahead and pick up a Tree and a Centaur. So
yeah, everything's still completely standard. I mean, the Centaur did get nerfed a little bit, but the mana cost, it's only like a early game nerf, because on the 4th level it's still the same mana cost as it was before. And the Treant, of course, as strong as ever. So Zero Latitude, they can go for the Bat Riders themselves, because the mana cost increase on the ultimate, it's not all that significant, to be honest.
Well, what a lot of people didn't actually put two and two together, like, oh, well, Bat Rider's getting nerfed because his mana cost is increasing by 75, and it's like, you realize that just means he is doing the exact same thing he did before without a Blink Dagger buff. Like, that's just the difference in the 75 mana just now applies to everyone except him. So, I mean, he's still strong as ever. And also, like, the deal with the trees not being burnt down past Fog of War when he's fireflying behind them trying to catch someone, that, you know, that's a quote-unquote bug fix, but that's an indirect buff to Bat. And, I mean, Bat's always going to be good. No other hero can really disable someone and drag someone out of position so far that their whole team has to go and back them up and make it a 4v5. I think Clockwork is pretty similar on terms of one hero that can just make the other team take a fight the way that you want to take it, and they don't really have much to say about it just because power cogs are so disruptive as far as lasso. But, you know, enough about Bat. Zero Latitude are taking a long time to decide on this hero.
Yeah, it's the Bat Rider definitely is one of the strongest possibilities, but if they want to go for maybe some stronger supports, like the Dazzle, I think is still one of the strongest ones. Or maybe just throw a curveball at us, go for like Warlock. But no, Sand King is the pickup for them instead.
With all these strength heroes in the meta, I am so surprised that Timbersaw hasn't gotten back into it. I know that the current meta is mostly about, like, well, we want to be able to move around lanes early, we want to be able to make sure we have good control and CC for our team fights, not really needing burst damage. But at the same time, man, I just love watching Timbersaw. And if I saw a tree and a centaur, I would just instantly pick the Timbersaw right there, man. Very trigger happy.
Yeah, that would be a really decent pick, and of course him being so survivable as well. Because the Timber Chain, I'm not actually too sure which animation is faster, whether the Hoof Stomp or the Timber Chain out. I guess
just depends on how far
the trees are.
Yeah, how far the trees are. It can go either way. I mean, for example, if you're so I guess if Zero Latitude were to pick this up and they're Radiant, if you go behind that, like, little patch of trees that goes into the jungle and you were to go towards the tower, I know that that's fast enough to not get hoof stomped, just because I've had it happen to me before. So anything further away from that, I guess you get hoof stomped. That's my best point of reference. So in the meantime, Puck being taken out from Zero Latitude, very powerful hero with the Centaur, and the Dazzle getting picked up as well, or getting banned out as well, which is also very powerful with the Tree. Scythe going ahead and taking out the Leshrac and the Bat Rider, and they're going to go ahead and pick up the Luna for themselves.
Yeah, Luna definitely a strong hero, especially because she scales extremely well into the late game with the glaives bouncing around. But I mean, their bans, the Leshrac, it's
good with Sand
I'm not
King.
aware of. Yeah, it's a really old combination with the Sand King, but haven't seen the Leshrac for ages. Maybe Scythe, as them being from the same region, are just practicing against each other, so they know some hero preferences for Zero Latitude.
That's possible. Well, at the same time, Leshrax's always a good hero that just isn't really in style.
He got buffed a little bit as well, right? The lightning.
Yeah, there was the
Slows
lightning
down.
buff. It slows the same as the Wraith King ultimate. It's a 75% slow, so if you have 400 movement speed or less, you're going to minimum move speed. So that's good. But I mean, still, people, if you pick Leshrac, you want to pick so that you can be aggressive in your lane and push towers. So, like the most popular builds, I think, as far as the ideas of picking up a Leshrac revolve around, are going to be Split Earth and Diabolic Edict more than Lightning. Like, I don't think that that's really going to change just because his other abilities are so powerful that I think Lightning would need a lot more buffs for it to be preferred over Edict.
Yeah, it's really you only see like the Lightning build when you need some heavy counter push or something of the sort.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when you're on a back foot, right? Like, if you have the choice, you're not going to want to. But the Rubik is picked up, and in spite of that, Scythe goes ahead and gets the Doom anyway. So this is really ballsy. This is kind of them saying we know that we're not going to be able to get our important spells stolen, such as Living Armor, Stampede, Eclipse, and Doom. But so be it. I don't have a whole lot else to say about that. It's just very ballsy.
It certainly is. The Rubik definitely should be having a nice enough game just with the spells to choose from. But Zero Latitude now, they have their two supports, have their possible mid laner on the Invoker. So as an offlaner, like we talked about before, the Clockwork could be really strong, especially as Scythe actually has 4 melee heroes and the Luna can't really attack from outside the Cogs either.
And this is a third strength melee hero. Just pick up the Timber. Come on, man.
It would fit really
it would
well.
Be so good. It's also another.
The Doom actually is really good against the Timber, though.
Well, the thing is, there are two kind of philosophies to countering Doom. Like, you either just give him so many targets that he can't Doom everyone. So, for example, if you got they're gonna pick up Darkseer, which is good. But if you got like Timbersaw, Invoker, and I don't know, Anti-Mage, like you can't Doom all of them. So, basically, you try to have that philosophy, or you just have the philosophy of picking up heroes that don't really get super affected by Doom, such as Dragon Knight. But Darkseer is going to be good. It gives them a lot of team fight. Very good in combination with the Sand King as well. Not to mention the control that's going to come out from Invoker if he decides to go Quaswex, which I think he probably will. It's usually best against low mana heroes, such as the Centaur, such as the Tree, such as the Doom. So I think that's going to be picking up pretty well. And the Gyrocopter is going to be instantly banned out from Scythe, who I thought would be a very good combination. However, Naga Siren is still in the pool. I can't really think of too many other carries that would pair in a dream team with a Darkseer and Invoker off the top of my head.
Yeah, the Darkseer is definitely one of the better heroes for the wombo combos, just dragging them in. But a Crystal Maiden for Scythe, so just...
I really like Crystal Maiden in this lineup, but go on.
Yeah, it does really remedy their mana problems. The Doom actually doesn't have too much to work with. Just having enough for the Devour is pretty much everything he has early on, especially if Invoker goes for the Quaswex build.
Well, the other thing that's really cool about having a Crystal Maiden on your team for Luna as well is I think with like 2 points in Arcane Aura, you can just Lucent Beam the enemy offlaner on cooldown. They can't handle that, so it's going to be a Mirana carry, so they're going to be looking up to set up a lot of these big team fights with Moonlight Shadow. Mirana is also a target that doesn't really suffer too much if she gets doomed, because most of her abilities are used at the beginning of a fight, not throughout the fight, so we'll see. I think I'm certainly favoring Scythe's draft at first glance, because Zero Latitude has a lot more execution base as far as the team fights are concerned, and there's just a lot more of the game than that. And we see a lot of times, like, even in low-level games, people get addicted to these wombo combos, but then the whole game they just never get to do it. So, we'll see. Stampede and Eclipse is still very good.
It definitely is really risky to play the execution kind of lineup, because even if you're like one of the best teams in the world, it still just has to click for you. The enemy's movement the placement of them has to be bad and so on. So yeah, it's really putting some strain on them early on already. But a pause, like in every other game, comes out straight away. Can't say I'm too surprised.
That's alright. There are worse things.
It's usually like a minute or so paused early on. But I guess it's...
I mean, both teams get to, the same time to talk about their battle plans, so... Well, the other thing is sometimes at the beginning of a draft, one of the person's like, alright, I'm going to go AFK for a bit. I'll be back in a bit. And they're like, alright, they're not back. It's like, just pick me what you want, boss. So.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I guess we should go over the lineups then.
I mean, we should probably wait till the pause is done to go over the lineups, and I would think. We can talk about these sets. I think that this new Invoker looks pretty sexy with the wizard hat. Have you seen this set yet?
Wait, on the Invoker?
On the Invoker, yeah.
Wow, oh god, that hat.
he puts on his robe and wizard hat, man.
That is like the most wizardy of wizard hats.
Oh god, what is is it the Sorcerer's Apprentice? That Fantasia song with the broomsticks?
I've got no clue. Like zero idea what you're talking about.
Have you ever seen Fantasia?
I think I've seen it once.
Yeah, well, there's one of the most famous ones was with the broomsticks with Mickey Mouse, and he was like enchanting the brooms to do the cleaning.
Oh yeah, so it
but he
backfired. Yeah.
He messed up and like ended up flooding the place. Yeah. That's what it reminded me of. So wait, he is disconnected. Okay, well that's what happened. All right, cool. We got a DC on our hands. Luna looking. I don't know. She looked quite lucent in the portrait picture, just more than normal. It's interesting.
Actually, the portrait picture is kind of a hype up, and then you go up close, and it's not as awesome.
Yeah, I think they enhanced Luna. I think they enhanced like Clockwork recently too. There were a lot of other heroes that got their portraits enhanced, but I don't know most of them. Certainly not Tree. This guy's just as ugly as ever. And Slardar never will, just because it has to be a running joke.
Well, I mean, somebody has to be the ugly duckling.
Even Bristleback has a line, like when he, like a rivalry line with Slardar. It talks about him being uglier than Bristleback. Like, man! Gotta bring yourself down just to bring someone else even more down. But we're gonna be waiting for the reconnect as we eyeball it. I don't know, at least we have the cinematic mode to pass the time, you know?
Yeah, it's a really good addition, to be honest.
Have you ever tried to like block creeps from first person view?
Oh no, I haven't. I actually haven't had time.
I like saw Dendy. Dendy was streaming once. He's like, "Let's play World of Warcraft," and he like did it and pretty much played mid lane from behind a Shadow Fiend. It was pretty interesting. He missed a lot of last hits.
Yeah, I think I saw once some people just going like 5-on-5 pouch mid or something, and they all played in the view mode. That was pretty funny to look at, to be honest. Just trying to land those hooks and so on.
People think that those 5v5 mid things are so fun, but I just hate them, man. I just hate being level 1 for 40 minutes. I remember in an actual 5v5, like I did, we like all went mid, but my strat was that I just like went and sat in the jungle and did nothing so that my team got a level advantage. And then I came in and got some kills with Burrow, like I was playing Sand King. And I like burrow struck up to the ward spot by Radiant, so they just couldn't find me. I just waited. I even like left. Everyone else was having fun but me, man. I don't. It's not my cup of tea.
One for the team.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I think the thing is like a lot of people are into ability draft and Dire Tide and stuff like that, but it's just never been my thing. And it's not that like those are bad. It's just I think that actual Dota is so fun, you know?
Yeah, of course. I haven't even played the ability draft, so I got no idea.
Man, ability draft sucks. It's like it's at least to me it feels like it's over before it starts most of the time.
Yeah, might be. I'll have to take your word on it.
Do you know what Roche has a freaking knife stabbed into his right leg?
at the moment.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know, man. It's,
somebody tried to kill him just before.
I guess so, and that must be whose skull it is right next to it. And Roche just left the knife in there, just to spite him.
I have to admit, I never took a close look at Roshan, and
he doesn't really look that scary.
Pointing out as well.
He really doesn't look that scary, to be totally honest.
Well, I guess that's why he dies so many times all the time.
Yeah, seriously. People can fight. He's level 30. People can fight him at level 1. Come on, man. Man up. get it together. You're supposed to be the boss.
To be honest, I really miss level 1 Roshans.
I don't know.
If it's just a random level 1 Roche that the other team doesn't even contest, then it's boring. But the early fights, always nice to see.
Yeah, those are funny. Level 1 Roche is really easy. It's just such a free one in pubs, and I was with a group of friends that wanted to just do level 1 Roche, and they did it 3 times in a row, and I'm like, fine, I'll play TA again. Well, basically they were like, play Beastmaster. I'm like, no, we don't need it. I don't want to play that hero. But it just gets so boring after a while, because then you just transition into 5-manning and winning the game in 12 minutes, and I'm like, man, I came here to play Dota. I don't really care if I win or lose.
Yeah, that's where I always go with random picks, just all random. Well, not all random, but I random myself. Nice.
Alright, cool. So it looks like we're finally getting back in the game as we've reconnected. So let's go ahead and look at a line of 0 Latitude. So we'll start off on the support Rubik. We're going to have Indigo. On the carry Mirana, we have Neves. The offlane Darkseer, we have Libery. On the support Sand King, it is Phoenix, and going mid, as Carl, it is Zing of Throw.
And for Scythe on the dire side, X-Freedom will be playing up on the GM Protector, leaving Miracle or Mikasa. I don't even know what he himself wants to be called, but he will be playing the Luna nevertheless. With Poloson taking up the Crystal Maiden, leaving Chibix to go mid lane on the Doom, and safe lane will be Hana on the Centaur.
Yep, so
Mikasa...
Go ahead.
I think it's Japanese for mother, or no?
I know that it's a character from Attack on Titan,
yeah.
That's what everyone's doing. But
anime fans all around.
Yeah, exactly. I actually I haven't really watched Attack on Titan. I just don't really watch TV. I don't know about it, man. It's not my thing. It's like ability draft. Someone's like, hey, you want to play ability draft and watch TV? I'm like, date's over. So they are going to go aggressive tri-lane here with the tree and the Crystal Maiden. And the normal problem that we usually see with aggressive tri-lanes that involve Crystal Maiden is that her movement speed is just so slow it's very hard for her to go up and get a Frostbite. And Tree didn't go boots first either, so their initiation is kind of, in a way, the Luna with 330 move speed, just trying to get a Lucent Beam off. But ultimately I think they just more wanted to get the Centaur against the Darkseer, to give the Darkseer a really hard time, because whenever Double Edge comes up and Centaur gets, say, an early cloak, the Honor Shell doesn't do anything to him. And he can harass Darkseer out of lane pretty early, and I think that they can win this lane. It is a double stun bottom lane, but it should be okay. And Freedom did pick up an Invis Rune as a tree at level 1, scouting things out. There are no wards placed, and he's holding on to his skill point, seeing if he needs Leech Seed. Oh, actually, this is cute. So he blocked the camp with his body at 30 seconds, and now ZL are looking for a D ward, but it's a fake.
High level mind games right there.
High level mind games. Best part of an Invis Rune.
Yeah, that is really annoying for them. I bet Zero Latitude is like, where the hell is that ward? Trying to eat their way through the trees and so on.
Yeah,
just wasting
tangos.
But yeah, this tri-lane, I mean, it definitely can actually backfire for Scythe as well. Sure, they will have the living armor at some point, but if they get caught by the Burrow Strike into Arrow, that one hero, especially if it's Crystal Maiden, should be going down.
I think the big thing about running this aggressive tri-lane that they're going to benefit from, though, is that Sand King can't really go to jungle. Because you pick up a Sand King, you expect to be able to stack this camp, and you expect to be able to jungle and get a Blink Dagger really quickly. But if he leaves the lane, either it's a 3v2 in the lane, And they're going to be able to hold that thought. Burrow Strike into arrow on Apolloson. Living Armor is going to be used. Telekinesis used as well. Lucent Beam comes in, but one of the right clicks secures the first blood for Phoenix. Then Luna's going to be able to take him out. Invis going one-on-one with Mikasa. Leech Seed is going to be used onto Indigo. He's going to go down to the right clicks from Freedom. And all in all, it's a 2-for-1 with the first blood going to the Dire. Or Radiant.
Yeah, usually it's like first blood is always worth it, but I'm not too sure it was at the moment, because Mikasa now, or Miracle, just suddenly level 3 on the Luna. Actually went for level 2 in Lunar Blessing, so just going for the heavier right clicks. It's not like the Treant doesn't hit heavy enough already. But just the Treant right clicks, being able to get the secondary kill as well there. You just can't man-fight the tree early on.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. At least it is 2 ranged heroes against a tree. And Luna, yeah, she's ranged, but pretty short range. I think she's what, like 330 range? Yeah. So, pretty short there. We didn't really look at the mid lane, but Invoker will be going Quaswex. He did pick up the early Blades of Attack. So, good choice there. And he should handily win this lane against the Doom. Doom does not have that great a base damage. He's going to be pretty easily harassed until he gets something like a health regen satyr eaten up. And Invoker is just going to be able to trade hits as well because of 3 early points in Quas.
Yeah, but actually the other lanes, except for the bottom lane, they're being quite passive at the moment. Chibix doesn't really have any. Whoa, actually might be dropping really low here in the mid lane. Cold Snap, not high enough level, I guess, but Invoker still wants to go for it by the looks of it.
Well, this is the thing about going Quaswex early, is whenever you go Quas Exort, you're only going to be wanting leveling Exort early on so that your Sunstrike's going to be helping out in lanes earlier on. So you're not going to have the regen from 3 to 4 points in Quas to help you in lane early. But when you're going Quaswex and you secure those points early, you can trade really efficiently. And he's actually going for it. Cold Snap into EMP. Doom's out of mana, but ultimately going to back off.
The Invoker, as time goes on, he's probably just going to have a better time. And he's still chasing the Doom as well, actually.
Living Armor is going to be used. Chibix moving in. He doesn't have... he's out of mana, but... this is just... I'm telling you, man. It's so hard to out-harass a Quaswex Invoker in lane. Just because he can trade hits efficiently. I think an analogous hero would be like Nyx, who has really high base health regen. So if he's one-on-one with a melee hero, he can just go and trade hits with you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, at the moment, definitely not favoring Chibix in the mid lane. And the Invoker, of course, last hit-wise, he's 24 and 3 compared to 14 and 3 as well. So just to harass, and the Invoker now getting the level advantage as well. Chibix, though, finally rotating into the jungle to just eat a creep and get some aura going for himself. Oh, but Sand King actually is on the hunt for top lane.
He had managed to pick up an Invisor and sat mid, but Doom didn't come back. Here he comes in. Ion Shell's on Darkseer. Stomp is used. Burrow Strike to follow up. Salve is cancelled. Ion Shell's still doing damage. He's only level 2, so he's only got Sandstorm. Crystal Maiden's rotating in, and that will be a gank unsuccessful. But in the meantime, Leech Seed was used onto Nivis. Lucent Beam thought about. Cancelled the animation. Was just going to be harassing as well. Rubik is still down here as well, so he'll be able to bail his buddy out if they get a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, oh, actually, Chibix might be in trouble mid lane.
Yep, there he is. Burrow Strike. Cold Snap as well. EMP laid down before. Scorched Earth was already used. But Tornado doing a lot of damage on enough. Scorched Earth regen was not enough. But at least that's the EMP delay coming into effect. Like, a lot of people don't think that EMP delay that came in 6.81 is a big deal. But he was able to get the Scorched off. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. Scorched Earth off before he drained all his mana from EMP. So he didn't live in that instance, but it can make a difference more often than not.
And actually, I think Chibix could have survived there because the Treant, he had the Living Armor off cooldown, but chose not to use it on Chibix for some weird reason. So, I guess something nice going for Zero Latitude at the moment, but Phoenix coming in once again towards the mid lane.
Perfect.
At least has his sight set on it, but Poloson also, oh, this might be a big clash.
It might be. Burrow Strike going to be used again, and Crystal Maiden, Pulson comes in. They don't have any detection, and so they're just going to be harassing him out, maybe waiting, but Invoker's going to be able to back him up. if they try anything super funny. In the meantime, Darkseer did go down. Stampede was used. Missed that kill. Apologize. I saw them get pretty low in the bottom lane, so I was trying to keep an eye on that.
And actually, Hana definitely happy about that kill. He's level 8 now as well, getting closer to his Blink Dagger. If he continues farming like he is at the moment, I'm guessing the Blink Dagger is gonna arrive around 9 to 10 minutes probably. And actually this Mirana, it really worries me because she's not getting anything and she's supposed to be the carry for their team.
Yeah, and this just... When it comes to facing a Tree Luna lane, they just have the damage to out-deny you. Tree's hitting for, what, over 100 when Luna's nearby. Luna's hitting for 101 as well. Already has her treads and Aquila up, so... It's just going to be hard to get any last hits if they're really aggressive about denying. Meanwhile, Liberty is he's made his way down to the bottom lane, put the Ion Shell on Phoenix. Mikasa's under the cover of Nature's Skies, scouting out. And he spots things going and sees it there for there.
Actually, the Nature's Sky, she might just find somebody and eclipse her down, because she did just hit level 6, so... Zero Latitude definitely have to play careful, and they are as well. Rubik just sitting under the tower, trying to protect the Mirana if she gets into trouble.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, and mid lane Doom actually went out and gets the kill as well. Wow.
Oh, there's a small dive there. Invoker did pick up his drums before going down, though, at the very least. That was with the help of the Crystal Maiden. But it is a free farm Centaur.
Mikasa gets arrow bottom lane. The Starstorm, not enough mana for it, got used. Living Armor as well. He's still alive. There's the Eclipse. Gets one counter kill on Mirana. Might get Indigo. Lose MP. 22 HP. Mikasa just gonna chase her down.
Yep, Stampede was used for that. Phoenix tried to get the wraparound, but X Freedom is there. Force him to go under the cover of Sandstorm. Polison is there as well. Throws out the Crystal Nova. Uses the Clarity as well to be able to spam a spell again in the meantime. But here comes Invoker with a Tornado EMP freshly off of a respawn. Mikasa's completely out of mana. Living Armor is there to help him survive for a little bit of time, but Burrow Strike going to be using. But Phoenix goes down. One charges keep Mikasa alive. Lucent Beam goes out. Ion Shell gets the last hit. Freedom is still right-clicking away. Now it's 3v1. I think Rubik is still there behind the cover of a tier 1 tower. And ultimately in the end, it's a 2 for 2, I think.
Yeah, I think it was actually.
I
So
think someone respawned early enough, but Doom picks up a Midas. They've got that going for him, and personally, I think that the late game is stronger for Scythe too. So, putting a little bit more insurance into that area of the game if they can get to it safely, which it looks like they're going to be able to based on how they're winning the laning phase.
at the moment, it's definitely favoring them, even in the early to mid game, especially if Hana now in 100 gold will pick up his Blink Dagger on the Centaur. So this Invoker, he's definitely gonna have to make something happen for his team.
Oh,
the
Courier?
might... No. Crystal Maiden, not the heaviest right-click damage.
She hits like a melee creep, or a range creep.
Indeed.
So
Oh, but the Moonlight Shadow off, they want to catch them off guard.
Stampede and Eclipse. Stampede is up. Eclipse is not up. Overgrowth is up. Oh, never mind. Dust is used. Tree is going to be telekinesis and goes down right away under Cold Snap, but unable to get an Overgrowth off. Tornado EMP going to be landing on Polison. Phoenix tries to get a Burrow Strike as Lucent Beam is delayed a little bit. Arrow flies and misses, but the 3 heroes stomp from the Blink and the Double Edge. Going to be able to secure one. He's not going to go down. Lucent Beam got him on the leap. They're fighting under the tier 1 tower now. Mikasa tries to right-click him down, but doesn't. Blink and the Double Edge is able to get that, but Invoker manages to finish him off with a right-click. Here comes the Tree and Protector coming off the respawn. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, but he does have Overgrowth if he's able to catch anyone out. He goes under Nature's Guise. Doom comes in, throws the Doom onto Invoker, and they're catching Indigo in the trees. Wait, my mistake there. That was on the Rubik. Invoker goes, and he's Overgrowth. Throws out the Tornado to try to buy himself some space, but in the meantime, they're catching Darkseer in the trees. He should go down, but in the meantime, Zing of Throw manages to get off the Crystal Maiden in a very awkward position. Now the creeps have trapped them. The creeps.
Oh my god, that situation. If only there had been like one extra hero for them.
And here's Nivis. He throws out an arrow. Zoning arrow more than anything else, but Invoker getting extremely lucky there. Now sitting at 4 for 1.
Such a long fight that was. Just heroes coming in later, left and right, and actually really nicely done by Chibix, actually doing up the Rubik instead, because Rubik was level 6, now level 7, so would have been able to spell steal it outright. So getting that 1 kill, and actually nice overgrowth usage by Freedom as well. I really thought he might use it earlier, but just kept on to it and disrupted the TP out from the Darkseer, as well as catching the Invoker. So nicely played by both teams, but I don't even actually know which team came out ahead in the long run.
I think... I'm not sure. I think that ZL probably came out a bit ahead. There's a burst strike up the top lane. Stampede going to be used to bottom the space, and it comes. Blinks gets a counter initiation. Eclipse is used as well. When ganks go wrong, Moonlight Shadow has to be used to secure the escape. Meanwhile, Chibix was up in the top lane as well to try to help, as well as a Treant Protector from X Freedom. Well, I was going to say that it gives Radiant some space to farm. Well, hold that thought. There's more action. Invoker comes in. Tornado, EMP, Telekinesis, Cold Snap as well. Doom goes down before he can do anything. Hannah's going to be moving back as well. And X Freedom still chilling out under cover of Nature's Skies while supports get their time to farm mid lane.
God, I have to say that this Blink Dagger pickup for the Centaur, it's what has been winning them, or at least keeping them in those fights. Just blinking in, the Hoofstomp double edge, such high amount of burst damage coming out. Completely something that, oh, top lane, X Freedom getting vacuumed up, EMP, Tornado, Cold Snap. Just gank executed once again.
And Living Armor was stolen in the middle of that, so all these tier 1 towers with the chip damage, no longer. Going to be starting to heal up those towers right away.
Well, at the moment, net worth wise, it's actually kind of even. The Invoker has been starting to get some more farm, almost has his 4-step finished now as well. Whereas Mikasa and the Luna just treads drums so far with the Ring of Aquila. Nothing big actually picked up for either team yet. Oh, but Doom on the bottom lane.
Doom going to be used. TP support coming in. There are 2 TPs actually. Mirana's going to be able to live through this. There's a Tornado EMP. Well, goodbye, CM. Good knowing you. And the Stolen Living Armor going to be keeping Nidus alive. So there's going to be a Mystery Arrow. Drum Charge was popped to try to catch up with him, but... I would have at least thrown a Mystery Arrow probably by this rune spot. See if you could catch someone.
Yeah, it would have been a nice try at least, because if you just keep throwing the arrows out, one will eventually hit anyway.
And you miss every arrow you don't throw is the thing.
Yeah, true that. But actually I think for Zero Latitude, Invoker stand up.
And Living Armor buying a lot of space. He hasn't switched to Quas just yet. I'll be able to regen some health, but there's that early drum pickup, giving him that 9 extra strength, going to be able to help him survive through that burst damage. But in the meantime, the mid tower does go down, which is the power of a Luna. Just makes it very, very easy to push towers with your team.
Yeah, it definitely does. And actually, well, one actually big item pickup that just came into use as well was the mech for the Darkseer. Definitely helped in saving the Invoker, and of course, like you said, the Living Armor as well. But I think I'm gonna have to leave you solo now.
Aw, man.
Second game.
No,
this game
okay.
just got delayed so much, so sorry for that.
Oh, that's cool, man. Well, thanks for joining me for the amount of time that you did, learning that Roche has a knife stuck in his leg.
Yeah. Learning something every game.
Learning something every game, so. Alright, cool, man. Well, I'll catch you later. Good luck.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, looks like I'm alone, everyone. But it's alright. We're going to keep going on in this game. So, if we're looking at the net worth like we saw, Doom and Luna are going to be sitting at the top of that. No surprise that a Doom with a Midas is going to be top in the net worth chart with the extra gold from Devourer as well. But Invoker doing pretty well, Darkseer as well. But the biggest problem here is that Nivus on his bottom is having a rough time. Just sitting on Tread's Wand Aquila, still holding his initial tangos. Whereas Luna has started to invest in the Mask of Death. Going to be probably turning that into a Helm of Iron Will pretty soon. Went ahead and got a casual Ogre Club first. And going to be able to start sacking agents and farming those. Plus, not to mention, whenever you're on Dire's side, you have a Luna. Very, very easy to take Roche after any successful fights. So, Wall is up. Mech is up as well. Tornado EMP going to be used. They're going to be trying to force out this bottom lane. Going to be very hard. X Freedom going to be bursted down immediately. Centaur going to be committing the ultimate in the counter initiation. But Paulson comes in. It's so hard to burst down that Sand King with the living armor. Epicenter is finished channeling. Force Staff going to be used. There's no mana for Burrow Strike. And he tries to secure the kill with a double edge, but only manages to kill himself. Paulson at least manages to get them behind the tier 1 tower so they're not attacking that. Here comes the Lucent Beam. Eclipse is going to be used as well, but under the cover... Oh, wow, Dust is going to be able to get that kill from the Sand King under the cover of Sandstorm. In the meantime, Dupe is just going to be pushing the top lane. Here comes the counter initiation as Bottom is coming as well. Paulson in some trouble. That early Bracer pickup is really helping him. Lucent Beam going to be thrown out onto Invoker, and nope, Crystal Maiden is eventually going to go down. Now Mikasa is going to be out of mana. Lucent Beam is going to be stolen. And all in all, very good trade for ZL. Zero Latitude. I don't know why I was forgetting that for just a moment, but for Zero Latitude, looking pretty good. Moonlight Shadow was used to secure an escape to make sure they stay on top of that trade. So, in the meantime, Mikasa's he's rushing this BKB right after the drums. He's already got his Mythful Hammer, so only about 1,000 gold away. And X Freedom keeps using that living armor on him to make sure he stays nice and healthy while he farms. Milanavis is going to be probably looking for... Well, the Blade of Alacrity, usually you would see a Mantisile or a Diffusal Blade. I think both seem pretty reasonable. Mantisile is very good on that hero regardless. Trying to think about what would be great. I guess Diffusal Blade would be good for purging off living armor. Not really super sure exactly, but we'll see what he decides to be going for. Meanwhile, Invoker, saving up a lot of money. Got the Force Staff and Drums. Usually with Quasflex, I really like the Orchid build. Really synergizes with, you pretty much become Clinks and you Ghost Walk and just hunt down people, but he's focusing more on team fighting. Speaking of team fighting, he's going on Mikasa. Stampede is used again. Mikasa's totally out of mana. Cold snapped up. Arrow misses from point blank range, and Mikasa's going to turn around. Lucent Beam gets the kill. Invoker comes. Mikasa got a little bit greedy there, and King of Throws going to be able to get him with the right click. Uses a Deafening Blast with that first point in Exort, and he's going to be able to secure a double kill. Not to mention double edge being stolen by Rubik. Not exactly what you want. In the meantime, Mirana goes down. Was the Doom committed? No, the Doom was not committed to X Freedom and Chibix.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Paulson just pushing mid lane this time.
Dire's top tower has
In the mid game, it's really good for like supports to be able to find free lane farm like this, because I just feel like it does so much for you, and that's a big pickup. With that tower going down, Sand King now has his Blink Dagger, so he becomes a lot more mobile. He becomes a much bigger force in these fights. And Doom, under cover of Nature's Guise, going to be coming in. Paulson throws out the Frostbite to lead it off. Doom going to be committed. EMP gets off before that, though. Arrow's going to come, going to miss, but there's an Overgrowth onto 3. Wall is going to be coming to counter-initiate. Invoker, is he going to be able to live through this? No, he just walks through the wall, but he actually gets the kills given to the Tree and Protector. Phoenix going to be coming in. He Burrow Strikes, channels the Epicenter as well, is able to get the kill on the Crystal Maiden. Actually goes away to the Mirana. X Freedom. He blinks in. Oh, that's Hannah. Able to burst down the Sand King right away. X Freedom going to be punching Nibis. Stampede going to be used as well. Managing to stay alive under cover of Nature's Guise, and a level death secures a kill on the retreating Darkseer. So all in all, in these very scrappy engagements, Scythe is just coming out pretty far ahead. And most of their kills are on the Invoker, who's going to be going for Scythe of Ice. Also a smart pickup. So we'll see. I don't know, I favor Scythe's draft. I think they're executing a little bit better in these really sloppy fights. It's not really like we've gotten an organized 5v5. We're like, alright, we're on this side of the river, you face this way, and I'll face this way, and I'll throw all our spells at each other, go. But it's been, oh, what, they're diving me tier 1, it's like, alright, I'll TP, and they're like, oh, they TP'd in, it's like, oh, well, I'll TP, and very spur on of the moment, very fast decision making is having to come out this game. I mean, already, how many kills is that? 39 kills in 21 minutes? It's an action-packed game, man. But in addition, I just think the late game is better. Mikasa, wow, rip. A little bit unfortunate. Was he Force Staffed? Who has a Force Staff? Does anyone have a Force Staff? Not sure exactly how he got over there. But regardless, Mikasa gets bursted down. They keep hunting him down. He's sitting at 7 for 4, getting a lot of kills with the Lucent Beams, and Eclipse is being smart with it. Well, never mind, Hannah. Gonna be bursted down again. Your friend just died there. Your friend just died there, man. But
Dire's middle tower
regardless,
is
they're going to be
under
trying to
attack.
force down this mid tower. Really, really hard to force towers with trees. Doom was committed to get a kill on Mirana down the mid lane, and she is having a tough time still. Sitting below the net worth of the Treant Protector.
Dire's middle tower.
Mid tower does finally go down at least. Ion Shell, it's pretty good for eating through armor. It doesn't actually work on the towers, but another good smart pickup for this Darkseer.
Radiant's top
Sand King
tower is
picks
under
up the
attack.
Arcane Boots. Going to be helping his sustainability. He pretty much has infinite sustain if he has Helm of Iron Will and Mana Boots because of the health regen that the Helm will grant you. So we'll see if he decides to go for a Veil or something else. In the meantime, it looks like it will be a Mantisal coming out for the bottom. And she has picked up that casual Yasha so far. And for the Rubik, it looks like just going to be a Force Staff. I saw the staff in the recipe. Is like, is it this guy going Dagon? Is the guy have balls of steel? But in the meantime, with the medallion pickup from the Treant Protector, now is this Blink Dagger, by the way, they're going to be forcing out a very quick Roche. That was dewarded.
To Dire.
So, not seen at all by Zero Latitude, and Scythe picks up a free Aegis for Miracle. That's his Helm of the Dominator coming out. Shiva's Guard is done on the Doom now. So he's got, oh my god, this Doom is farmed. He has Shiva's Guard, Shadowblade, Boots of Travel, Midas at 23 minutes. He's only 6 for 2. And I say only because sometimes you see people this farmed when they're like 11 for 1. But Jibik's just being very smart and very efficient with his farming. Shadowblade, looking for someone to Doom,
Tower is under
but
attack.
Sand King pings him out. He's saying, I feel like someone's here. King of throws out the Tornado. Just a zoning Tornado. Pretty easy to zone to use that. If he really needs it, he can just invoke a Deafening Blast if he needs some long-distance crowd control in the next 20 seconds. Uruk just manages to get a kill on Lucent Beam, and, well,
Dire's bottom
let's see, is
tower
Wall up? Blink, Wall, Vacuum comes in as well, Overgrowth comes in, and the counter initiation with the new BKB, 10-second BKB as well. Just wrecking everyone in the middle of that Overgrowth, and Potom is the only one to remain alive who's going for a BKB, but, well, Darkseer comes in, but the Blink Dagger is shown off from the Treant Protector as well as the Centaur. Doing a lot there. Not to mention the Eclipse and the new BKB and the Drum Charge, and yeah, that's a BKB before the Aegis is even over, so already looking to push up high ground.
fortified.
24 minutes in, this is the power of a Luna. Every fight that you lose, your base is in a lot of trouble. It's like a Lycan that doesn't feel as unfair. I didn't say anything, don't worry about that. Misty Arrow going to be used as Scout. Doom has activated his double damage. And they're just going to decide to back off. Which is good. I mean, after you win a fight like that, you're going to have a lot more gold. So you're going to be wanting to go and get your items to make sure that your next fight is even that much more powerful. So you need some time to let the courier go back and forth. And while you're at it, you might as well farm some creeps. Whatever. So in the meantime, it looks like, oh, do we have a smoke gank lined up? Because there's a line drawn from Mirana here. Yeah, there's smoke on the Sand King, so they're going to be moving up. Nivis is just going to be farming a bit. He is going for a BKB. Smart pickup. Although Potom is just one of those heroes where I feel like if I have to build BKB, like I did it wrong. Like if you have to build BKB on Anti-Mage or Weaver or Tiny even. But another important thing too is that... Okay, never mind. I was wondering if Mikasa had this Helm of the Dominated Alpha Wolf at the meantime, but Doom, it was actually the Doom Devoured, but they had that in that fight, which made it very, very one-sided. At least a little bit more than it already was. 5-man movement towards the mid-bottom lane. Going to be trying to force out this Tier 1 tower. It's so hard to gain map control when there are any Tier 1 towers for your opponent on the map, but it's just going to be a trade. Mikasa takes the top tower pretty easily. X-Freedom, Undercover of Nature's Guide, using his Quelling Blade to get into pretty clever positionings coming in. And Doom, under the cover of his Shadow Blade moving in. He has picked up a gem as well.
Under attack.
There are mass TPs coming into the top lane. Actually, all 5 of them TP'd. Save the Rubik. Stampede was even used. They were just looking for everyone, and I guess they thought that they had Mirana ulted and were looking. Oh, but hold that fall in the top lane. Luna's forced to BKB TP out. Paulson's not going to be as lucky as he needs. The Starstorm needs the whole team. Yeah, they had the gem on Doom, so they stampeded, and Chibix was just looking for people under cover of Mirana ult. Even used the Shiva's guard to try to get that, but still, looking at EXP and gold, the team with the better late game is ahead, which is never something you want to be fighting up against. You basically have to make sure that all your ganks are successful, and time you spend moving out as a team and ganking is time that you're not spent farming, and they know that they're losing map control, so Liberty goes ahead and picks up a gem. I mean, that's going to be kind of hard for him to hold on to, too, as well. Meantime, Chibix is here. He's surrounded. Blink in from 30. Telekinesis from Rubik into an arrow. He steals Scorched Earth, uses it immediately. Burrow Strike to completely stunlock him. And that kill goes away. The Sand King gem on the deck. Who is it picked up by? Who picked up the gem? It was Rubik. So Rubik gets a gem for his troubles. He didn't get to steal Doom, but there are worse things in life. Lines being drawn from... this was from Invoker, this is from Crystal Maiden. I guess they were saying, like, hey, they're all in this area, and the other team was saying the same thing. Well, the joke's on both of them. They're both wrong. Aegis will be reclaimed soon on Luna, who was very close to her Manticile. God, Luna's such a good hero. Jesus Christ. X-Freedom still getting very clever positions with Nature's Guys. Blink in from Hannah, going to be stopping double edge, but the Tornado EMP is going to be trying to counter-initiate. Epicenter going to be coming in as well. Mikasa uses the BKB Eclipse. Overgrowth going to be holding people there as well. There goes the wall. Epicenter comes a little bit lately. There is no vacuum, though. Phoenix going to be coming in. No one is dead just yet. Everyone's really low. Looks like X-Freedom is going to be the first to go down. Burrow Strike secures it. Lands on 4. Doom comes in. Immediately dooms the Sand King and secures the kill with a level death. Going to be moving down as well, hunting for more. Never mind, he actually doomed the Invoker. Gets another level death onto Rubik. Going to be able to secure him. Darkseer going to be surging away. Only 2 left in the fight, and that's going to be it. Unless, no, Nivis managed to get away with the TP. So, 2 for 1. 2 supports for 1 support. Lots of ultimates being used. But hey, that's going to be a tier 2 tower down. We're down to 12k gold lead. It just sucks so much to give up map control to a team that roaches quickly and is on Dire. Man, it just sucks so much. At least they don't have Potom on their team. That's just terrifying. I hate that so much.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
So we're looking at the item pickups. Manticile done on Luna. We have had the pipe done on Hannah for quite some time. So Polison, not sure what he'll go for next. Possibly his own BKB. Maybe his own Blink Dagger. Doom. Sitting at a lot of gold. Probably going to be going for an Assault Cuirass. Invoker quite a ways from his Sheepstick. Does he have any even on the Courier? No, he does not. So he needs about 2,200 gold, 35.75 is how much it costs, minus an ultimate orb. Mirana pretty close to the BKB, about 300 gold off as well. And Sand King has not showed any item progressions yet. Expected to go for a Veil of Discord, but we'll see. I think I don't know if he bought a gem. I know he's been buying the wards to give Rubik some space to get his Force Staff and his mana boots. So, Scouting Tornado, gonna be looking, but there's a ward. They were seeing if they could just find anyone under cover of Nature's Guys or Shadowblade, but to no avail. Illusion Rune spotted out from Polison. Puts up a ward to see if there's anyone on the high ground. Mikasa's going to go ahead and snag that Illusion Rune. Get more glaives going. You can go ahead and have 5 of you if you want. Doom does get the Hyperstone for you to Assault Cuirass. Stampede, and in rebuttal, it's going to be the Moonlight Shadow used to escape. Invoker gets a quick Ghost Walk off, switches his points into Wex, and now is moving close to max move speed. Just scouting out what's going on. And he TP's home. Well, I think that really all that's happening is that Scythe has got a lot of map control, so they just want to wait for the next Roche to try to use that and break some high ground. And in the meantime, Zero Latitude just trying to find some pickoffs and try to push off of that. It's just so hard to push into a freaking tree, man. All these towers are so close to that. I mean, there's still the tier 1 in their off lane is still alive. And this very clever ward is put up from Dire. It's going to be able to spot anyone in the trees that's going to be trying to get an initiation, such as Phoenix, who is immediately pinged out from the Crystal Maiden. And there's a pause. Wouldn't be Dota without a pause. So in the meantime, I guess I'll do some plugs. If you like what you're watching, follow the channel. Check out JoinDOTA League for more information on joinDOTA.com. And if you hate me or like me or want to know anything more about me, I have a Twitter account. It's called Call Me Roxas. As far as finding out these players, all their information is on the JoinDOTA websites. I don't know any of their Twitters off the top of my head, although I should probably start committing those to memory. That would be a good idea. So, apparently a small mouse problem for Indigo. And Paulson has given him the permission to go. Oh, he hasn't fixed it. Go win ready. Perfect. 1 moment. It's pretty early morning here in Texas, so I made myself some coffee. It's going to be delicious and hot and caffeinated. I remember when I was really young and I saw my parents just always having coffee, and they're like, oh, I can't function without my coffee. I can't live my life without my coffee. I can't even wake up or do anything without coffee. So I was like, man, I should just never get addicted to coffee. And then I thought when I was 19 or so, my college roommate was like, hey, you should have coffee, it's amazing. And there was this girl I was into that I ended up dating for 3 years. But she was like, you don't drink coffee? I love coffee, you should have this coffee. And I just liked her, so I was like, yeah, I'll drink coffee. And now I'm a coffee drinker. Sometimes it's how the cookie crumbles. So, we're going back on into the game. Scythe sitting on a lot of gold, not sure exactly what he's going to be going for. Sometimes we can see a Mjolnir pickup, not necessarily from the Centaur, but maybe on the team, just to put onto Hannah whenever he blinks in. You get a lot of procs off just because in general you're going to be focused pretty hard. And you're also pretty hard to kill. And he's not going to be going for the Assault Cuirass, as that's already going to be coming out on the Doom. Speaking of which, he's got it done right now. As far as other items for Centaur, I mean, Heart is very good, obviously. Your Tankier also return does a lot more damage. Yeah, and then it's really all you need. You can even see things like Force Staff, and Roche is up, so going to be taken in like half a second. He got the minus from the Shivas, he's got the AC, everyone's got Lunar Blessing. Bye-bye, Roche. Immediately smoke up, going to be moving towards the jungle, but unfortunately there's a 5-man up top from Zero Latitude. Going to be trying to force out this tower. Wall is up and everything. But Boots of Travel are up on Darkseer, and TP Scrolls on everyone, so they'll be able to get home to defend pretty easily, but they still don't get this tower. There's a tree on the team, so they're going to be down to full health, so it's going to come down to whoever gets the best initiation here. Nivis, is he going to get caught out? No, he won't. Smoke is broken, and what's stolen? Just Crystal Nova, and there's a quick blink in from Hannah. Moonlight Shadow is going to be used for... Everyone just teasing back and forth, but... keep in mind, this is only two. Only 2 people TP'd back home. They don't want to reveal themselves in the top lane just yet because they know that that would be the word go for Scythe. X-Freedom, still undercover Nature's Guys with the Squalling Blade. He's going for a super late mech. I guess that will help him. They are fighting a lot. Arrow going to be moving. Dodges Mikasa. And dodged by Hannah as well. Chibix just patrolling around. And the high ground hasn't been broken just yet, so... in the meantime, the remaining 3 heroes from Zero Latitude are going to get bored and TP home. So we'll see. Mikasa starts to siege with his illusions, already used his Mantisile, Pipe, and Living Armor coming out. He has no reason to not hit this tower. Arrow going to be used from a telekinesis. He has Aegis though. He doesn't care. He even has Satanic to use after this Aegis is gone. There it is. Here comes the vacuum, but there's no wall to follow it up. BKB is going to be used immediately before the Aegis. There goes the Eclipse. It's going to be not hitting on very many. Stampede comes in as well. Fortify going to be used. EMP going to be coming in as well. BKB going to be showing off from Marana for the first time. And Chivix going to be taken out. Is he going to be able to get a Doom off? And no. He gets Oath down before Doom comes off. Immediately buys back into the game. Going to boost a travel in. Invoker coming in as well. There's a buyback from 3 on the side of the Radiant. There's a Burrow Strike on a multiple. But he gets immediately leveled Oath down. The Crystal Maiden ultimate doing a lot of damage before she goes down as well. And stolen from Rubik. Oh, vacuum into the wall. There it is, finally. But they're just so damn tanky. And Chivix is already back. Mikasa still hasn't had his Aegis popped, and he used the Satanic in that fight. And when this Aegis is done, he's going to have his BKB back. Hannah blinks in. He actually gets arrowed. Tries to go for the Rubik. Tornado going to be buying some space. Mikasa getting a little bit eager here. He might have this Aegis popped, and I think that he will. It's a 3 versus 1. He is very fast, though. 437. He pops the Satanic, tries to start hitting on people. Sunstrike's going to be off the mark. Chip is coming in to help as well. And there's X-Freedom under the cover of Nature's Guy. He's going to be trying to do what he can. But he's just there for some backup. He doesn't have Overgrowth for 10 more seconds. Mikasa coming in, losing off cooldown in about a minute. Aegis is still there. Crystal Maiden is the only one missing from this fight. She's not the most important, as much as I hate to say it. I really like that hero. But anyway, Zenithro is going to be moving in. Cold Snap going to be making it very hard to get a Lucent Beam off, but they're going to be able to get the tower anyway. This is just the power of Luna. Force you to do something. She BKBs to avoid the tornado. Phoenix moves in, gets immediately level death, and is almost dead from that and the glaives. Mikasa comes in, and they're just going to take 2 sets of racks immediately. Rana cannot fight this. Alright, well, the gold graph is funny. It's just one of those games. You give a snowball A team with a really good late game and a dire side advantage a lot of time, and they're going to make good use of it, especially a smart team like Scythe has proven to be in a lot of games. So, Zero Latitude are probably going to be up against Mega Creeps pretty soon. I don't really see them holding this tower there. I mean, Luna still got the BKB and the Aegis. She has a full-on Butterfly done. No one has an MKB. There's no Hex on Invoker. I mean, buybacks are going to be... they're on cooldown for almost everyone. Invoker's the only one that has one. So, going to be tough. Manta Style popped. Going to be coming in. Phoenix gets a Burrow Strike. Into the arrow, into the Tornado, into the Meatball, into the Deafening Blast. BKB's done. Satanic is turned on. Finds something to hit. He can't find it. Overgrowth comes in. Wall goes down, but there's no vacuum to follow it up. Niv is going to be doing a lot. Phoenix gets off the epicenter, does minimal damage. And here comes Indigo. Manages to lift Mikasa at the end of his BKB. Eclipse has not been used, but Aegis is going to go. No, he doesn't even die. He does not even die. He's just trying to lose the Aegis at this point. He just uses Satanic and heals up on Invoker. Is he going to buy back at all? I don't really know if he can do anything. Rubik, the only one left alive, and he doesn't have buyback. It's on cooldown. And that's it. Good game is called. And that's going to be the end of this best of 1. Very, very action-packed game. What a slugfest. But Scythe is going to be prevailing in the end. Wow. And that's what happens when a Marana doesn't have a very good start either. It's very, very hard for her. She doesn't flash farm. She needs kills. She doesn't have any abilities to help her farm or team fight better other than just things that happen at the beginning of the fight. I don't know. So, cool. Anyway. So that's going to be it for me for now. I'm not sure exactly what's going to be coming up next, but whenever I do, I'll be able to let you guys know. In the meantime, just enjoy some music. So thank you for tuning in. Once again, my name's Roxas, and this was brought to you from joinDOTA League Season 2. So I hope you enjoyed. Please support it if you did. So have a good one.